of congratulations to CEGR for completing very valuable years, and today we are celebrating the 11th Foundation Day. Respected dignitaries on the stage, and my dear friends. Dr. K.K. Agarwal and co-vigilant, what they said, I completely agree with them, that it is really difficult to envision 2047 today, because if we go back 25 years back, it was difficult. The kind of professionalism what we have today, the kind of manufacturing what is happening today, the kind of technology impacts what we see in our everyday's life. So it will be really difficult that how the things will be moving after 25 years. As earlier generation used to change in 20 years, but now the generations are changing every 5 to 10 years. And now from generation X, Y, Z, now we have come back to alpha and beta. Now that generation alpha, what is going on? And we were talking about digital skills for all. So I think what we need to do literally is, because we know the way the technology is changing our perspective, changing our everyday life, so I think we need to change our ABCD. And when I say ABCD, I mean it literally the ABCD. A for apple, B for bat, C for cat, and D for dog. Why it was started? Because at that particular age, it was very, very convenient for a child to make him learn, because he or she was seeing these things around them. So they could recognize and they could relate it to the alphabets. But I think when we are talking about digital skills for all, from 3 years to 93 years, everybody when they have to get used to it. So I think we start with A for artificial intelligence, B for big data, C for coding, D for data analytics, I for IoT, and so on. Because the students at a very early age are getting to see these technologies. They can talk to Alexa, they can talk to Google, they are seeing the electric vehicles, they are seeing the use of drones. So all these technologies, and I think for teachers also it will not be very difficult to make them understand that what is IoT. So same way, if we start teaching them or giving them some kind of knowledge about these technologies, I think it will be very, very easy for these kids once they be coming to schools and colleges. Because nowadays, if we see, so from class 6, definitely from this year, CBSE has already got subjects of artificial intelligence, financial literacy, and few IT subjects like this. And these will be treated like a compulsory or a main 5 subjects also. So I think we should start from a very early age, because when we are envisaging 2047, 2 more generations would have passed by that time. And it will be easy for us so that they become adaptable to the kind of technologies, what they will be seeing once they will be reaching to 2047. Also, technology is one thing which will be effective. And if we want to foresee that how the education will be, so we need to understand and we need to foresee, or we need to envision how the industry will be working by that time. Today we are talking about robotics. We are seeing robots being used in a lot of manufacturing. We are talking about Industry 4.0. And by that time maybe Industry 5.0 or 6.0 will come, where we have collaborative robots, where the robots will be working beside the humans. And not only for the repetitive tasks, but maybe for something with artificial intelligence. But as correctly said by Dr. K.K. Agarwal also, that for artificial intelligence, the real intelligence has to be there. Then only the artificial intelligence will be able to utilize. And for that real intelligence, it is very, very important that the subjects, what we are teaching in the universities or in the schools, they need to change as per the same pace, the way the things are moving ahead. So instead of thinking about changing the syllabuses in the 3 to 5 years, I think it is very, very important that at the end of every year, you should see that if some percentage, if we can add. We were having a principal seminar organized by Times of India a few days back. And there were around 275 principals from Delhi NCR who came together. And most of them has one thing which they want to ask. That earlier we were struggling with that the students were using Google to answer the questions, but now it's ChatGPT. So should we allow or should we not? And how the artificial intelligence can be used by school teachers also. Because what a teacher can tell a student, if a student can learn it themselves, then how the respect for the teachers will come. So it means the teacher should know more what the student is being exposed to. So it is very, very important that before the students are getting exposed to these technologies, our faculties, our teachers should get trained on these. And as the Vice Chancellors of the universities, all the deans of the universities, it is very, very important that we expose our faculties also to these new technologies and make them learn these new technologies as we are moving forward. The new technologies which definitely will be affecting our education system in the coming times, as we see the advanced technologies about facial recognition, swipe-less cards and virtual reality. So the companies will be coming with, like we see a lot of automobile companies who have already come up with ADAS. And in the coming days, Bosch has already announced that they will be coming with 3D displays in vehicles, which could be the future of automated technologies, where it will be a driverless car. You need not to put a lot of your knowledge in driving a car. Same way as I said, the robotics or the artificial intelligence or machine learning, or in teaching where we will be using 3D, AR, VR technologies, where you need not to be there, present at, like we take the students for industrial tours. So you need not to take them there, but sitting in the classroom also, they can visualize those things, that how these things can be practically used in the industries. So I can foresee a Vice Chancellor office, maybe in 2047 or 10 years before that, will be more like a tech studio rather than a VC office. A school, rather than a brick and mortar school, it will be more of a place where students will be imbibing knowledge, skills, not only from the teachers, but from various other methods also. So one of the very good examples what a school principal gave there, that rather than going away from the technology, they have started a period in the class where they put a board and ask the students that this is the technology and ask them any question. Or what new thing you have learned. Because it is very, very important that we tell the students that how they can utilize these things in more positive manner. And if we are able to do that, as I said, from a primitive age, from a very primary age of candidates, I think it will be very, very easy once they come to universities. We are talking about semiconductors, whereas most of our students do not understand, as I quoted at a lot of places, when you go and meet the students, that what is the difference between when we are talking about wafers or we are talking about chips, we are not talking about relays. What government is talking about, chips and wafers, that how we can become Atmanirbhar Bharat, how we can take these technologies ahead. I come from Electronics Statistical Council of India, and we know that the way Indian manufacturing is happening these days, and electronics system design and manufacturing is one of the sunrise sectors in India, and the way it is moving. Even you can try it yourself, even if you ask any of your known or any student who is studying in school, if you ask them, that tell me 10 manufacturing electronics companies in India. Or if you ask them where you would like to join, the answer will come Google, Microsoft, Amazon, TCS, Infosys. Whereas we also understand that a lot of jobs which are coming in the manufacturing sector, and this will keep coming till 2047. So it becomes our responsibility also to make our students aware about various opportunities which will be coming. And I think this becomes a very, very integral part, that awareness is very, very important. Not only for us, but for the students and as well as for the parents also. And definitely, if we talk about values, mindset and culture, I am sure the Indian teachers will be engaged in nurturing global mindsets based on three classical values of India: Satyam, Nityam and Puranam. Satyam is authenticity, Nityam sustainability, and Puranam is wholeness. So I think these three things will be very, very important by the time we reach 2047. Mindsets will be based on learners who will be receiving this information, and not what information they receive, but how to think rather than what to think. And that is very, very important. So education is finally about creating and sustaining wholesomeness culture rather than serving the templates of out-model activities. And I request everyone that definitely, if we are thinking about 2047 and we are calling it an Amrit Kal and an Amrit Piri by 2047, once we'll complete 100 years of independence. So let's imbibe ourselves with technology and let's not forget our values, and let's imbibe and make it a sustainable education system by the time we reach 2047. And definitely the National Credit Framework, which has been recently launched, will be a game changer in this. So any student who will be pursuing any kind of course will be accumulated credits for the same. So I think we'll have a different forum for talking about NCR. Thank you so much. Thank you.